I really thought ranking crack ships would be a one-time thing, because we already covered Mordecai and Twilight, Grinch and Tony the Tiger, and of course Elsa and Jack Frost. How much more could there possibly be? The possibilities are endless. Any character, any franchise. The only limit is your imagination. This isn't just a can of worms, this is a whole ass barrel of worms. And I am but a bird, slurping them up without a second thought. Anyway, welcome to my channel.
Your video tipping the show.
Butt lovers! That's my intro. Welcome back to Athena P. I overthink unserious stuff for fun, and also because I can't help it. That's just how my brain works. Urban Dictionary defines a crack ship as a relationship between two characters from different fandoms that is impossible to achieve. Some people think it's called a crack ship because it's a ship on drugs. I prefer to think the name is referencing the butt crack because it's a ship you pulled directly out of your crack. I asked you over on my Instagram at Athena P Lore for your favorite crack ships, and my goodness, you all delivered. Starting off strong with Athena PX, the sponsor of this video. Oh, which one of you cheeky, which one of you dirty dogs? Wow, I can't believe this. Who would suggest that? Just in time for Valentine's Day, this video is brought to you by Elsa. To celebrate, we are doing a massive spicy toy giveaway. Everyone who signs up using the link in my description will win a free toy or gift cards for toys. Elsa is a company by women for all things sexual wellness. Let's talk about some of their spicy adult toys. You've definitely seen Elsa's viral toys all over your social media. Like the rose, it blew up for a reason. With 10 different suction modes, this little flower-shaped toy is iconic. Or their famous air vibe, which is silent but deadly, providing dual stimulation while being waterproof and rechargeable. Or the thump, a toy that does it all. Vibrates, suctions, and thumps. Also waterproof and rechargeable. Elsa, as always, wants to encourage everyone to embrace, explore, and celebrate their sexuality. So be sure to check out the link in my description, because my friends at Elsa are sending free toys or gift cards for toys to everyone who signs up for my giveaway. Thanks again to Elsa for sponsoring this video. Now back to the ship's tier list. The moment me and my sister started watching Dolly Dimpley from Smiling Friends fanon fame, she immediately shipped her with Ragatha from the Amazing Digital Circus. What's their ship name? Rag Dolly? I see where she's coming from. Dolly Dimpley is iconic because her whole thing is being ignored. She is a fan character, so they use her out of placeness in the story. She doesn't belong in the world. They have both felt overlooked, sure. Putting them side by side, it seems so obvious. Dolly even sports those gamer headphones, so the chances of her putting on a VR headset and being sucked into the Amazing Digital Circus is pretty great. I can see that happening. Here's what's making me think it isn't meant to be. I can't believe I'm breaking the news to my sister like this through a video. I don't think they'd make a good couple, because when Ragatha got the stupid sauce in her eye, we finally saw her without a filter. She thought Manager Gangle was annoying. You think she'll find Dolly Dimpley entirely endearing? The same Dolly who...
Freaking dead body and freaking salties! Hey, I'm about to head out. Oh, hell nah! To the na-na-na!
I think Ragatha and Dolly will have a genuine heart-to-heart. They might even passionately make out if Dolly punches Jax in the face.
I wish someone would
punch Jax in the face. But I also see a breakup down the line, because Dolly would flirt with Ragatha by calling her waifu. And Ragatha would abstract due to sheer cringe. I can just picture Ragatha being like, I finally have a friend, but she kinda fucking sucks.
Why can't I have a ray of sunshine in my life?
Ragatha is very kind, but deep down, I think she knows that she would never hang out with anybody from the circus. if she wasn't trapped here. I also think Dolly's pointy teeth knife rage moments would not be cute to Ragatha. Ragatha throughout the series gets along best with the NPC's Candy Princess and the Ghost Lady. She likes more mellow, chill people. I think Dolly's energy would stress her out. I think Ragatha would be more likely to date evil Dolly Dimpley, which is just a non-internet pilled, non-hyper version of her. If anything, I think that Pomni has a similar sense of humor to Dolly. Remember Pomni, pointy-toothed, maniacally laughing, running around with a gun, saying, "Righty-o, evil bro"? I could see Dolly doing that shit. Honestly, my sister's gonna be so pissed. I think that Dolly x Pomni makes a bit more sense. I think Dolly and Ragatha have the potential to be friends, though. I don't think they'd hate each other. I think they'd only hate each other if they dated. Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls and Ida the Owl Lady from Owl House. Two shows I haven't seen, but I've read up and down the Wikipedia and watched pivotal clips. So I feel like I watched the whole series without actually watching it. Terrible thing to do. Don't watch shows like that, by the way. I was about to dismiss this one right out of the gate because I cannot see Ida with a man at all, but I didn't know the backstory. This is as canon as crackships can be.
My ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better. Her aim is getting better. You see, it's funny because marriage is terrible.
Grunkle Stan mentions his ex-wife. They were married for a day, and then she stole all his casino winnings. That alone sounds like something Ida would do. Out conning the con man. But they surpass Easter eggs and give us the whole Easter chicken, because not only does Stan describe his wife as having one weirdly sharp tooth and pale bingo hall skin, same.
All right, me too, girl.
But the description of her super specific outfit match concept art for Ida. We see a wanted poster in Gravity Falls where the silhouette looks just like Ida. And if all of that isn't enough, the true smoking gun is that Ida's undercover human name is Marilyn, the same name as Stan's ex-wife. The creator of these shows being exes and making two of their main characters exes is so playful and fun, and a level of subtle collaborative camaraderie we do not see enough nowadays. It's splendid. Now, I know ships don't necessarily have to be romantic, but that's the way I've used the word throughout my life, and this is a Valentine's themed ranking. So in terms of it being canon, it should be at the very, very top, but it's not an OTP, one true pairing. It is an OTS, one true separation. Kane from The Amazing Digital Circus and the clock from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. You all know how much I love comparing Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared to The Amazing Digital Circus. And in my full video from last year, that's already so outdated because so many new episodes have come out since then, I was so focused on comparing the prisoners that I never thought about the ringleaders and how they'd get along. Kane X Tony the Clock. I believe the fandom gave the clock the name Tony. We only have 2 episodes of The Amazing Digital Circus left as of me recording this, so I don't know how my opinion will change, but that hasn't stopped me from sharing every single thought I've ever had. So I think that Kane is not used to feeling out of control. Sure, he doesn't have a handle on human emotions, but at the very least, if there is a non-human, he has always been able to poof them. I think it would be interesting if he assumed the clock was an AI gone haywire, so he tries to get rid of it and he just can't. Maybe then he'll assume it's a new human, but he is not. They are both man-made creations that now get to play with their very creators in horrifying ways. I can imagine them doing a sort of dramatic ballroom dance as they scheme. Hot. I think Tony could very well push Kane into being a bit more unapologetic. Because Kane still cares about his human prisoners, Tony the Clock very much does not. He is demanding. Look at the time, but don't think about the past.
The past is far behind us.
I think Kane can agree with the sentiment of leave your past life behind, but I think he at least tries to be gentle in his approach, even though he fails repeatedly. Both of them are constantly contradicting themselves. The future doesn't exist. Okay. It's the future! The future is now! Wait, I thought you said it didn't exist. It's like Kane toying with them about an exit. Is there an exit or not? Is Tony the best Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared character for Kane, though? Maybe the computer is a better fit? Kane is a computery guy, after all.
Look, a computer.
But I still feel like the clock could ground them all. You know what? Thruple it is then. Bugs Bunny from you already know, the Looney Tunes, and the Trix Rabbit from, the Trix cereal. Sarcastic, quippy icon versus the very vulnerably honest weirdo who hunts down kids for his own damn cereal. Bugs Bunny would find the Trix Rabbit amusing, but good lord, he would judge the shit out of him. He would have a field day with Silly Rabbit, tricks are for kids. Silly Rabbit, tricks are for kids. Wait, he does not have the Peter Griffin laugh. Let me start that over. You know what? I'm not going to do a voice. You look like a creep trying to get kids to share with you, but it's your own cereal. And they don't even know your name. Silly Rabbit, what's your name anyway? So my name is literally Trix. No, they're saying Silly Rabbit Trix. Your name are for kids? Ew, dude! These kids are not only bullying you, but they're dragging your name through the mud. Shit. Maybe it really is rabbit season. So that sucked. I see them as having more of a sibling dynamic. Bugs can put up with a lot of foolishness, as we see with the Looney Tunes shows Lola and Daffy, but I don't see the Trix Rabbit defending himself or having enough self-esteem to take the banter in stride. I feel like it would be very one-sided with Bugs pointing out how pathetic he's being, with the Trix Rabbit only able to say, I know. Tough to watch. I didn't realize there was a canonical crossover from 1985, and low-key they were flirting a lot. It's just not how I ever imagined Bugs Bunny would interact with him. He's like, no carrot flavor in your cereal?
Orange, lemon, grape. What? No carrot?
Here's how I'm gonna help you rob those kids. And he even, pulls down a to be continued thing, giving them a little privacy. Dude, if I saw this, I wouldn't have rated them that low. Also, I don't remember the kids gatekeeping the yogurt in the same way, but apparently they did.
Trix yogurt from YoPlay. It's colorful fun.
And it's just for kids.
Dude couldn't eat any of the products he's the mascot for. I think the Trix Rabbit needs to meet someone at rock bottom for him to realize he needs help. Enter the Cocoa Puffs bird. This duo is part of an unbalanced breakfast. I think they would have a passionate romance, fueled by sheer desperation. Are they as hungry for love and each other as they are for their corn puffs? I think that the Trix Rabbit would get better through this romance, but I think it would take a lot out of him because Coco is still actively battling the cereal addiction. I can see them post-coital talking about life, and Trix would open up about how grateful he is to not be thinking about cereal for once. Then all of a sudden his lover flies out of the bed, bouncing against every wall at high speed, raving about his craving. It's heartbreaking. All his life, Trix was left out, and now he's finally a part of something that seems bigger than him. A love story for the ages, and he's still not enough. It's cruel. It's Shakespearean. He can't watch his love go down this dark path. He gives the Cocoa Puffs bird an ultimatum. Him or Cocoa Puffs. And he flew the coop. He's gone in the morning. The two never see each other again. Crossing paths with someone who will change your life forever only for them to become a stranger. Whether you see yourself in cereal-dusted milk or the distant stars of our Milky Way, are we allowed to dream such big dreams? Our heroes crossed through multiple universes to be together just for the only obstacle to be themselves. These ships are just as cracked as our hearts are. I really feel like I'm being rage baited by this next one. Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus and Rarity from My Little Pony. The element of generosity would not be with a relentless bully. I don't know if this is a she could fix him type ship, but let me be the first to say she respects herself way too much to put up with his foolishness, alright? Need I remind you of the Grand Galloping Gala? I feel like I talk about this episode every 5 seconds. It's my Roman Empire. But listen, okay, at the Grand Galloping fucking Gala, she couldn't handle this prince who was just a bit rude. She shut that shit down. You think she's gonna get together with someone who tortures people for fun? First of all, Rarity is a lesbian to me. I think any experiences she's had with men was comp-het. I fought people over this. The only person from My Little Pony who could put up with Jax's annoying ass for more than 4 seconds is Discord. They'll run amok together and giggle and be besties until Fluttershy reminds Jax of Gangle's timid ass. You already know where I'm going with this. Jax pushes down Fluttershy, and Discord makes literal hellfire rain down. You think abstraction is bad? Oh, buddy. He will make you die 10 times over, bring you back just to give you a wedgie, convince you that everyone you've ever loved was just a figment of your imagination, and then kill you for real, while also somehow keeping you alive trapped inside your own mind. Jax is toast. Not even Thomas can save him. He knows nothing of the magic and power of friendship, and I doubt he ever will. Sonic and Rainbow Dash. There's probably a story here I am completely unaware of. Did they meet in the jar, perhaps? Anyway, Rainbow Dash is a lesbian. I could never see her being with a man. However, her and Sonic would be best friends. We're both fast doesn't seem like a strong enough foundation, but this is core parts of both of their personalities. I think they'd get overly competitive with each other, measuring contests galore with how overconfident they both are, but the love of the race will keep them running and flying side by side, enjoying each other's company and getting stronger and, more importantly, faster in the process. Their friendship name is Gotta Go Dash, and their siblings in here, okay? Wario from Nintendo and Gourmand from the Wild Kratts. This is so brilliant, and let me tell you why. The person who suggested it pointed out that they match each other's freak looks-wise, but it's so much more than that. Not only are they both antagonists, but Gourmand is a chef, and Wario farts. And if you think about it, farts are a chef's love language. Don't change the video, don't cut me off. Hear me out, okay? Good for your heart, the more you eat, the more you fart. Poetry. Imagine Gourmand serving Wario Komodo dragon eggs, and Wario says, "Wah," and rips literal ass. You expect me to believe that Gourmand wouldn't propose right on the spot? You're actually out of your mind. This is the only gaslighting I want to see here. If that's not love, then what is? This is going at the very, very top. Soulmates, even. Mario gets Princess Peach, and Wario gets Prince Poach. Cedric from Sophia the First, and Obake from Big Hero 6. I had to rewatch my Big Hero 6 lore video because I feel like I almost completely forgot what Obake's whole deal was. I probably shouldn't admit that. Just kidding, I remember everything I've ever watched, ever. My first instinct is to say Cedric is too good for Obake. Although they both deal with feeling like failures, Cedric's trauma is lifelong while Obake's is... Listen, I don't want to dismiss the accident. Dude literally blew himself up. I think Obake has more in common with Esteban from Elena of Avalor. Rejection sensitivity, followed immediately after by destructive tendencies. Both are also willing to die. Spoiler alert, I did take a look at the Cedric x Obake propaganda, and listen, half of me thinks they look great together. Love the poses you put them in. But the other half of me thinks they're a siblings or dating final boss. The pros of this is in the beginning, Obake would really egg Cedric on. Are you gonna let them talk to you that way? As bitter revenge-fueled e-boys, that's a fun dynamic. And post-Cedric redemption, this is the one time I think an I can fix him mentality would actually work. In real life, this is never a good idea, but Cedric has magic. I don't think Cedric is smart enough to diagnose the issue, but he'd listen to Baymax and look up healing spells or something. I think it's interesting for sure, but I doubt they'd last. The ship would sink, much like Obake. I think Cedric would be a really good parent to Trina, Obake's robo-child. Imagine Trina and Callista being friends. Trina being a role model, caring about a little sister type figure. This could have changed the trajectory of this poor kid's life. Oh, what could have been. There's potential for sure. I'm actually really enjoying thinking about how their worlds would collide. I'm convinced, but it's not an OTP to me. Please welcome back to the stage Cedric from Sophia the First, this time paired with Dr. Two Brains from Word Girl. Much like how he was with Obake, I think Cedric would be too focused on fixing Dr. Two Brains. I don't think Cedric could move past the protruding mouse brain. I think it would really upset him. I think the cheese obsession would also piss Cedric off. I think their eccentricities would clash. I really do. I think pre-redemption Cedric would be interested in Word Girl's powers and how he could harness them. So maybe the two would briefly team up, but I don't think anything would come of their relationship beyond that. I actually think Sophia and Word Girl would be friends, but that's about it. I don't think these men would get along, but it's the perfect way to transition into talking about the strongest ships for both Cedric and Dr. Two Brains separately. Bruno from Encanto and Cedric from Sophia the First. It's so peak. It's so peak. We have Bruno rejected by his family for having the wrong kind of magic, and Cedric rejected by his family for not being good enough at magic. These two would feel so seen by each other. Also, the fact that they stayed with their abusers in different ways. Bruno was hidden, but blamed himself the whole time. He didn't have any animosity towards his family. He was in the walls listening to his own family singing about how he ruined everything, when all he did was have visions of the future that he didn't ask for and doesn't have control over. Cedric, on the other hand, was hiding in plain sight, part of the royals' daily lives, but no one knew he was plotting revenge the whole time. I feel like if Bruno met Cedric while the sorcerer was still scheming, I don't think they'd get along. I think Cedric would unfortunately contribute to Bruno's pain and suffering, dismissing him as weak. But if they met when Bruno was brought back into the family and Cedric gave up on his dream to take over the kingdom, I think they would both have a lot to unpack together. Maybe Cedric could take Mirabelle under his wing and she could find out how to channel magic on her own despite not having a gift. Abuela could unpack her grief and loss with the Sophia the First children. The merging of these families would heal me. If our couple were in a restaurant, Bruno would be the one too timid to speak up for himself, and Cedric would be the one to stand up and say, "Excuse me, you got his order wrong." Because here's the other thing, aside from their backstories, their personalities also even each other out. Cedric needs someone gentle after being steamrolled his entire life, and Bruno needs someone who could stick up for him after also being steamrolled his entire life. Cedric never had a problem speaking out, but no one would listen to him up until his breaking point. While Bruno, on the other hand, never really spoke out. This ship is genuinely so perfect, I need it to be real so badly. I kind of got so obsessed I looked up fan fictions, and there's only one that was abandoned back in 2022. A detail of this fanfic I found so fun is that Mateo from Elena of Avalor was learning from Cedric. It would be so great to see more of Elena's future in this upcoming Sophia the First reboot, since they do take place in the same world, but I highly doubt they'll go down that route. Back on topic, I adore this ship. This is going at the tippy top. Another ship I adore is Two Brains from Word Girl and Scudworth from Clone High. I propose their ship name would be called Rubber Gloves Clubs. These two mad scientists would egg each other on in the best way. This is how I imagine their first interaction going. Oh, so you make clones of yourself like my ex-Lady Redundant woman. Yeah, I'm into that. No, Mouseman, never of myself. Only of historical figures. That is hilarious. But why wouldn't you clone yourself? Well, Scudworth would dig the mouse side to a concerning degree. Bro's ex was a skunk, okay? He would gladly welcome Squeaky to the party. I always forget Scudworth's first name is Cinnamon. I see Two Brains only calling him Cinnamon. I don't love it as much as Bruno and Cedric, but these two freaks would definitely understand each other, and yeah, they're canon. In my last Crackships vid, I said I loved Doofenshmirtz with Two Brains, but for the record, I love this ship way more. Two Brains and Scudworth makes way more sense than Two Brains and Doofenshmirtz. I didn't think that one through. Rubber Gloves Clubs all the way. Cinnamon cheese, please. You all are asking me if I am aware of the ship between Rodrick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Regina George from Mean Girls. Oh, I've seen the TikToks. In fact, I have a whole playlist of them, and I fear none of you are in as deep as I am, because I have also seen Rodrick X Sharpay from High School Musical, Rodrick X Jade West, I'm not really into that one, Rodrick X Anna from Freaky Friday, who one of you shipped with Regina instead, which just seems like the ship between Regina and Janice with extra steps. Some people even theorize that Regina George is attracted to Rodrick because he looks like Janice as a drag king. Lots of layers there. I also saw Rodrick X PJ from Good Luck Charlie. That one rocks. I love the idea that PJ, who has himbo vibes, joined Rodrick's band Loaded Diaper, and that led to a very slow burn best friends to boyfriends. They're both so stupid, I imagine it took them forever to realize that bisexuality is a thing.
All right, me too, girl.
But back to the ship I was actually recommended, Rodrick X Regina George. The artistry these video editors possess, it is on another level. Combining clips from the rocking around the Christmas tree dance to that one clip of Rodrick pointing at his video camera like this. Genuinely so creative. It feels so real. Without the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies, this ship would not have the legs that it has. I don't think it would have went as far. Although the artwork drawing Regina George in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid's book style is also very cute, it mostly took off because of the movies. Everyone, and I mean everyone, had a crush on Rodrick. He's like if Spencer Shea was kinda mean. I do think Regina has a lot of internalized homophobia to unpack before she's able to date a guy who wears eyeliner, because in the early 2000s, in the movie Mean Girls, she probably would have said some very problematic things to Rodrick, let's just put it like that. But Rodrick is known for dating toxic gals. In the Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, The Getaway, Rodrick has a summer romance. She looks like she also has a punk style with lots of piercings. And poor old Rodrick gets his heart broken when he catches her making out with some other dude. Not just any some other dude. She was caught making out with his doppelganger named Rodrigo. Rodrick's parents knew he was seeing this girl and how serious he was about it, but instead of checking in on him, they make the girl who broke his heart take a photo of their family. Their parents are always either super clueless or malicious as hell. Anyway, I bring this up because even though Regina is also a cheater, I think this could be their meet cute. Regina is bullying his punk ex-girlfriend, and Rodrick loves her for it. There's this one incredible TikTok edit that uses clips of movies the actors were in when they were older. And the framing, man, it blew my mind. It paints this picture of Rodrick and Regina 15 years post-breakup. Yeah, this trend went so far we have a timeline and angst. This isn't a joke, it's a lifestyle. I mean, we love a spoiled popular princess shipped with a punk bad boy. It's why Courtney and Duncan will never die. It doesn't matter that they were completely incompatible. There's passion. It roars like a fire. I'm sorry, this is real to me. I know I only briefly mentioned it, but I feel like I like the Rodrick x Sharpay one even better because they are both performers in vastly different genres. Imagine Sharpay trying to drag Rodrick to audition for the musical. Oh my god, he'd die of embarrassment. I adore it, and I'm glad we're finally talking about how peak the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies are. I eventually have to watch the new ones too. Now don't get me started about the horror movie edits of the dad. I know that door had a lock on it! God, I am obsessed. Once again, Regina George from Mean Girls, this time shipped with Heather Chandler from Heathers. This one almost feels like self-cessed. I have always seen these characters as one and the same. Even though one is from the early 2000s and one is from the 80s, both of them take interest in an unpopular girl, training her like a pet. I think these two queen bees would try to kill each other. There can only be one apex predator. They also have two totally different approaches. Regina George is very passive-aggressive, while Heather Chandler, at least in the musical, kicks nerds in the nose. And if we were to stick to the strict timeline here, I think it's more likely that Heather Chandler is Regina George's mom. I just do not see it romantically. Hacker from Cyberchase, shipped with Kane from the Amazing Digital Circus. We have a lot of Cyberchase ships coming up. I love that you all have Cyberchase on the mind. So do I. I am so happy with the response to that last video. But let me lock in. The inclusion of the Amazing Digital Circus in cyberspace is breaking my brain a little bit. Kane is seen as a god in his digital world. So if this circus was just a site, just a world in the cyberspace universe, I think the last thing on Kane's mind would be romance. I think this would strip him of his whole purpose. Realizing there are other AIs more powerful than him would fully break Kane. I think Hacker would obviously encourage rebellion. I think Hacker would also try to torture the circus humans since his only other exposure to humans is the Cyber Squad. But Kane would just be pissy regardless. I think he'd be like, our fair city? That's a stupid adventure. I do think he'd get a kick out of Aquarium. Why didn't I think of that? I think Kane would also compare Buzz and Delete to his wooden mannequins. Ultimately, Kane just wants somebody to tell him he's doing a good job, and that is not Hacker. I'm more inclined to ship Kane x Motherboard because A, her original design looked like a Kane prototype, and B, her calm energy is more similar to the moon. I feel like Kane would snap his fingers and somehow heal Motherboard, and the two of them would just protect each other forever. I don't know. I want to hear Alex Rohan, the voice actor for Kane, sing the Cyberchase theme song in the Kane voice. Don't tell me that he's trying to hack the Motherboard! We'll get him every time! The only thing I really see breaking up Kane and Motherboard is the fact that she can create a vortex portal back to Earth, and she would most definitely send the circus humans back home. That would obviously really upset Kane. Maybe if Kane's world opened up and it wasn't just his own creations, he'd feel less alone. Unsure. I do like it though. If anything, the two of them fighting over Motherboard saving the humans just makes this ship more interesting. Wait. I forgot about the elephant in the room, abstraction. I think Motherboard is going to be very disturbed by abstraction. Garnet's reaction to forced fusion would be Motherboard's reaction to abstraction. She would protect Jackie, Matt, and Inez from abstraction at all costs. She would banish Kane, actually. I gotta see how the first abstraction was caused before I give my final thoughts, because this ship is either a great idea or very tragic or both, and I can't decide. Hacker X Plankton, Motherboard X Karen. My first instinct is yes. You got Mean, Green, and Stupid paired together, and you got the computer mommies paired together. My second instinct is this is the messiest polycule I've ever seen. Assuming Plankton and Karen from SpongeBob are still together, oh my god. Watching your husband go on a date with your girlfriend's son, or alternatively, watching your wife go on a date with your boyfriend's mom, jail. This feels like a rom-com sitcom moment where nobody realizes what's happening and they don't communicate well. They set up this double date and then, uh-oh, my mom is dating my boyfriend's wife.
You what?
This situation is still really messy, even if Karen and Plankton fully broke up and are exes. Because think about poor Chip, their son that's never mentioned. Now all of a sudden he's got a stepdad slash cousin and a stepmom slash mother of his new stepdad, meaning that's his step-grandma. I'm short-circuiting. I needed 9 whole seasons of this mess. I don't care if it's unhealthy. Num num num, give it to me now. Miss Piggy from the Muppets x Edna Mode from The Incredibles. Loved the new Muppet show, by the way. Don't Stop Me Now, perfect ending number. I got chills. Back to the ship, I know what we're going for. Pairing a superstar diva with a fashion design diva. But if Edna ever tried a pull yourself together with Miss Piggy, oh, Edna would be deadna. Also, Edna likes making clothes for supers. Her eyes light up seeing her fabrics tested against fire and extreme conditions. I feel like if these two dated, Miss Piggy would bring Edna to a performance where she's belting her heart out, being the icon she is, and Edna would be completely unimpressed. Edna sees the supers as gods. I don't think she's as interested in celebrity culture, and whoever Miss Piggy's with needs to hype her up. So yeah, as much as I want to see two girls bossing, I don't think it would be these two. You know what Muppet I think Edna would be best friends with? Uncle Deadly. You get me? Chuck E. and Buck E. Chuck and Buck. Charles and Barles. Just two iconic rodents with rhyming names. As many of you know, I went to Buc-ee's for the first time while I was on my Magic Quest / Great Wolf Lodge journey. Great video, by the way.
Today. Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
I did not expect to love this gas station superstore as much as I do. The food is phenomenal. The walk-around mascot of Buck E. Beaver is adorable. I'll just say it, one of the cutest mascots I've ever seen. Now on to Chuck. There are so many iterations of his character throughout the years, but I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese in forever. And it just so happens one of the ones that's closest to me is one of the remaining few with animatronics. So let's go on a little field trip. When this curtain opened, I felt genuine fight or flight, but I just froze and laughed like a madwoman. Listen to this. I wasn't playing that up at all. I don't know why, but the vibe in there, rancid. It smelled like shit. I thought Helen was no longer with us for a second.
Helen.
Did you see how her jaw dropped and her eyes closed? Yeah, I thought she was passing on. I will never call my animatronic son creepy ever again. Chuck is too human, and his vibe is all over the place. I don't ship Chuck and Buck. I am instead making my own ship of Buck E with my raccoon Rocky. Now, this next one blew my mind. To quote Cynthia Erivo, I didn't know this was happening. And also, to quote Cynthia Erivo again, Elsa from Frozen x Rumi from K-pop Demon Hunters. Can I propose that their ship name should be Brady Bunch because they both got braids? Think about it. Both dealing with suppressing their true selves, their true powers. I can imagine a DJ remixing. Just imagine this with me, okay? Imagine a DJ. This is what it sounds like, let it go. Let it go. And they do that thing where they like push the fucking turntables like, I ate. I actually think it's so beautiful. I think they need people that understand them. That was the foundation of Rumi and Jinu's relationship, is that she saw that embracing this side of herself didn't have to be scary, but it doesn't have to be a one-to-one. It doesn't have to be demons. It could be ice magic too. K-pop Demon Hunters to me reads as very bisexual, and here's where some comments are gonna fight me. It's my opinion. I don't think there's a straight character in that movie. I think they're all bi. And I never thought Elsa was straight. I always thought she was a lesbian. It's so obvious. I feel like K-pop Demon Hunters needs to be added to that Rise of the Tangled Guardians of whatever the fuck. Rise of the Frozen Tangled Guardians, Demon Hunters. I don't know. It's just gonna keep growing. The more franchises outside of Disney we add, I hope that Disney shits their pants. We are taking your intellectual property and we're making them kiss characters from your competitors. And there's nothing you can do about it. Not to mention, both girlies are orphans. And both a parental figure and the parents before they died in Frozen gave the really terrible advice of shame. The shame that was instilled in these girls that they've broke past. People do see this sort of embracing this side of themselves that they were told to hide to be a sort of coming out story already. So just bring that to the next level and make them girlfriends. This has to go in the top tier. I see it. Oh, I'm such a fool, I can't be free. No escape from the storm inside of me. 'Cause I see a real face and it's ugly as sin. Dude, mash up the shame songs too. And finally, we have my first crush ever, Lady in the Leaves from Magic Quest, with the Ice Wall lady from that one episode of Cyberchase. We don't see her a lot, and also given that they're both stuck, they're both grounded in one place, so I don't see how they would meet aside from FaceTime. I literally cannot think of a scenario in which these two goddesses would meet. I do like that there's the essence of Lord Mallory and Queen Clarion there, the merging of the seasons. I'm gonna propose my own ship. Hear me out. Lady in the Leaves from Magic Quest and Fawn from Tinkerbell. I was gonna say Rosetta, so there's a gardening fairy with the garden goddess, but Rosetta does read as very straight to me. And on top of that, I think it would be really cute if Fawn was trying to hide some animals and she was trying to hide them in the leaves, and then all of a sudden she just hears, ow, that hurts. That's my face. That's my skin. And then all of a sudden, we have a Disney fairy falling in love with the embodiment of nature that they're protecting. Oh, wouldn't that be cute? It's like the dad from Ponyo and the water goddess, but make it gay. But make it for the lesbians. Please. God. We need that now more than ever. I'm so serious. Not me ranking my own ship ahead of everything I was given. My mind. My mind. I'm calling it here for today, guys. I hear your boos. I hear your pleas. I promise I will cover the Disney princesses ex Jujutsu Kaisen men in my next crack ship video. And if I don't, you're allowed to take my lunch money and give me a swirly, okay? I just really need to watch the anime for myself and give my own thoughts. It feels like cheating to watch other YouTube videos about it and then share what I've learned. That's not what this is about. I need to come to my own conclusions. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please subscribe. We are so close to 300,000 subscribers, and that is absolutely unreal to me. Thank you so much, and have a great day. I demand it. See you in the next one, butt lovers. Bye!